How many times you've made a great, well-thought design that solves a business goal, meets the user expectation, looks great, and it was dismissed by a client? Like, really, shouldn't the good design sell itself? Isn't it obvious at first sight? I have bad news for you guys. Design can speak for itself. You do. It's part of your job to sell your design. You don't need to be a salesman, you just need to know how to present and explain your work. My name is Zbigniew Getes, and in this video I want to share how to pitch your design, to sell it. Being a great designer, it's not just about crafting great design, it's also about being a great storyteller. You think you did a good work, so how do you sell it? How do you tell a story that will convince your clients? Let's twist this question a bit. What does your client expect to buy from you? Quite often when clients talk about design, they assume visual appearance. To be more precise, a lot of clients value our craft because of the beauty that we create. Ever heard of the quote, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder? It is saying how the beauty of something is subjective and that different people have different opinions on the attractiveness of something. Design is not about what one likes, dislikes, or personal tastes and subjective preferences. It's all about what works. If clients are not coming for you for strategy and problem solving, the whole process is broken from the start. Design is both a verb, the process of design, and a noun, the result of that process. You need to master the process of reasoning and you'll hit a sweet point each time. So here's some common sense approach of selling design work and telling a meaningful story that works like charm. First of all, the success of your work starts way before you show them any mock-ups. You need to have a process that leads you to good result, step-by-step actions that you need to follow to do good work. It means when a client hires you, they are hiring your process as well. This should be discussed before client hire you, not after. Or you need to sell your process firsthand, not during the design pitch. So, example, dear John, if we are going to work together, here how it's going to work. I use goal-directed design process. This process was why my work succeeded enough times that you heard of me. My design works are pretty, but more importantly, they do the job. They meet the goals of business and satisfy user needs. So let me present the process that we will follow. And you give a guide, you guide your client through your process. And if they will try to break your process, and they'll probably try to do so, you need to fight for it, because the process is the key to your success. You need to convince John and show how many times it worked in the past. If you lose this fight, probably it will be hard time to do your work properly and even harder to sell it. In a good design process, you need to do a lot of research before you show the design. It means a lot of agreements and decisions will be made before the designer will create first mock-up. Remember, good design is informed design. Push visual design out for as long as possible and get agreement on everything else first. Each step of your design process should fill the gaps in your design and give confidence to you and your clients that you're on the right path. Now, how do you pitch? So first of all, you need to set the stage. A meeting without an agenda is a coffee break. Every planned meeting must have a detailed written agenda that identifies the leader, specifies the objective, and states the goal. Email the agenda before the meeting. If you want to get design approval, make sure that the decision maker will join the meeting. The agenda gives you, as the presenter, a chance to change the presentation if there's a misalignment between you and the audience. Start the meeting by thanking the audience for their time. Repeat the agenda at the beginning of your meeting so everyone would be aligned with what to expect and what kind of participation you need from them. The next thing, very important, is to be confident. Confidence means you believe in the work that you will show, because you've done the research, you understand the problem, and the work you are presenting backs that up. But confidence also means that you can handle being wrong. Don't keep trying to solve something that's broken. If the client comes up or stakeholders comes up with an obvious use case that you had overlooked, you should be thankful that you are working with smart clients. Now, how the story should begin. Rather than just talking about design features or doing the real estate tour around your design mockup, a great way to communicate design is to tell the story of how someone will use the design in the real world. So split the whole story to 3 chapters. Chapter 1, you might introduce your main characters, as example, user persona, and outline the sort of context in which someone will be using the product or service. In chapter 2, show the current state of the situation, the unsatisfying solution, missed opportunities, and pain points that should be based on qualitative or quantitative research. You might use your findings that you've captured in interviews, diary studies, customer feedback, heuristic evaluation, surveys, or subject matter experts interviews, and so on. The goal is to create awareness and need. If it is possible, to use some examples, analogy that your audience will relate to, that's just perfect. In chapter 3, we show the change. In this chapter, you want to introduce a new way of doing something. How your proposed design will solve the main pain points and fulfill the business goals. Your goal is to convince the audience that your way of doing something will do the magic, it will do the job. Closing the deal. There's a few ways and techniques how you can close the deal. Here are a few that you can use. Alternative choice clause, also called the positive choice clause, in which the salesperson presents the prospect with 2 choices, both of which end in sales. You give like a question and assumption that everything else is okay. Assumptive clause, also known as the presumptive clause, in which the salesperson intentionally assumes that the prospect has already agreed to buy and wraps up the sale. The design have already been tested with 10 customers against the current baseline. It performed positively. When can we start implementing this? And the third closing technique is possibility of loss clause, also known as a pressure clause. Example, if we agreed on this approach and mockup, we'll be able to launch a new website before Valentine's Day. So if you won't agree properly, you won't be able to launch this website on Valentine's Day. You need to end on time. The meeting, you need to respect your customers' time, your stakeholders' time. End on time, pack your belongings, and just close the deal. Now, I can give you an example of the pitch for the client. It just small example, fantasy. So, thank you for your time. We are in the middle of the website redesign process. To this day, we have defined user persona, customer journey map, and how we want this journey to look. Today, I will show you the brand new checkout process screens that should fulfill your primary user persona and your business goals. The presentation will take 10 minutes. After the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session that will take up to 40 minutes. The goal of this meeting is to get approval on the checkout design. We encourage you to give us feedback. You have the right expertise related to the ticket selling. If you see something that isn't working, you need to point it out. If you don't tell us what you think isn't working, we will show you the same thing again and again until we are out of time and money and you are stuck with what you have. As we already discussed, our primary user is Jack, the person that plans his romantic date in the theater. According to our research with your marketing division, this segment of users represents 60% of your customer. After Jack made his research, he already decided to go to your theater, yet he might have some doubts. Is it good enough? That question is the main question that pops in Jack's head. The biggest pain points during the purchase are seats. According to our survey, 65% of your customers had these doubts when selecting the seats. It was next to the price. The price of ticket is a bit high for him. And to be honest, the most expensive tickets are already sold out. You've done an amazing job with your loyal client. So he's a bit unsure about the seats that are available for him, if the view will be just okay, good enough, or bad. The current solution is not giving enough information. I think you had the same feeling, at least I know I did. Imagine you are going to some place for the first time, which seats are the best, with condition that the most expensive tickets are sold out. So which seats are good enough? In the new checkout process, we shoot two birds with one stone. With the proposed design, we will solve two main questions that arise in Jack's mind: price and seats. First of all, we show the actual view from the seat. You click any seat in the plan and it will show customer his view, how he and his partner will see the performance, the scene. Price. Price was a bit a harder thing, but we thought that we could give a full package of romantic date in the theater. We offer Uber discount, your partnership department is working on that, and great discount coupons for local restaurants. 25% that was just arranged by Phil from the marketing department. So now you can sell the whole experience. It's not just a ticket for performance. And the price seems reasonable. This design have already been tested with 10 customers here, and it performed positively. We have some doubts if we want seat view to display some real performance view, or we will use the empty theater view. I hope you liked this video and you will use this pitch technique of storytelling using your researches during your design pitches. Subscribe to my channel and see you soon. Thanks.